But more important than me talking is hearing from one of our families. And I am so thrilled this year. As many of you may know over the years, our number one wish is always and continues to be going to Disney World. And from our perspective, we're always thrilled because we know it's a very magical wish for our families, and they can do things there that not necessarily they can do on their own if they go on their own. But from an office perspective, we're even more excited when kids come up with something a little unique and something that challenges us. And that's what Courtney was able to do for us this year. And she chose a celebrity wish. I'm going to let her tell you about that. But just as a little bit of a background, whenever we do celebrity wishes, the control goes out of our hands, which we hate, and goes into the hands of the celebrities. We can't call a celebrity and say, we have a child that wants to meet you, and oh, they're going to meet you on October 12th at 6 o'clock, and you're going to come to Erie to their home. That's not how it works, as much as we would like it to. We notify, our people notify their people, and their people notify the celebrity who says, either yes, I'll do a wish, or no, I won't. In most cases, the answer is yes, I'll do a wish, and we'll figure out a time. And then the process of waiting starts. Sometimes it's quick, and sometimes it takes a long time. The frustrating part for us and for our families is that we hear from celebrities, okay, we think perhaps July will be good. Find out from the family if they're available to travel in July, because most of celebrity wishes happen in California. So we go to the families and we say, this is no guarantee, we don't know if it's going to happen, but if you're available in July, then it might happen in July. Of course, in Courtney's case, that happened 3 different times where we had to come to her and say, are you available? And then nothing happened. But she was patient, and she was thrilled, and I am thrilled to introduce Courtney and her family. Courtney Hall, her brother Brandon, her mother Denise, and her dad Bob. Please help me in welcoming them. And Courtney, unlike me, is very soft-spoken, so attune your ears.
Did you bring the celebrity with you?
In September 2007, I started getting sick. It started with my ears. I had almost completely lost my hearing, and things just got worse. It traveled all throughout my body. I was sore, vomiting, and always tired. Nobody knew what was wrong, though. In November 2007, my mom had me admitted to our local hospital. After 9 days there, we decided to go to Children's Hospital Pittsburgh. A couple days later, we found out I have Wegener's granulomatosis. Wegener's is a very rare disease. It's usually found in adults over 50, so it was even more rare for me, 15 at the time, to get it. There is no cure for it, not yet at least. We got it under control pretty quickly, but my kidneys weren't so lucky. We didn't know how bad, though, until a few months later. In February 2008, I had a couple of seizures and went to ICU, all because of high blood pressure. That's when we found out that my kidneys weren't doing their job. I had 8 liters of extra fluid in my body that the kidneys didn't filter out. I was then put on dialysis, a tube in my stomach, and every night at home we do it. It's been about 1.5 years and we're still doing it every night. That episode in February was when someone decided to recommend me to make a wish. Right away I knew what I wanted. Something I wanted more than anything in the world, to go to Los Angeles and meet Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. I watched his shows from the beginning. I even told my grandma after a while that I was going to meet him eventually no matter what. He is a role model of mine. I watch his show just to watch it, but then I'll watch it 2, 3, 4 more times and just study it. I watch what he does and the timing of when he does it. I watch the dogs for those little signs of aggression, fear, nervousness, and I use his technique on my dog, Sapphire, who's almost 4 years old. She's a very well-behaved dog, and I think she's pretty balanced. So some Make-A-Wish people came to my house to talk to me. They asked me what I wanted, so I told them, I want to go to Los Angeles to meet Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. They said I had to write down another wish in case they couldn't do that one, but I didn't want anything else. To meet Cesar was all I wanted. We waited and we waited, but either I wasn't ready to travel or Cesar wasn't able to at the time. They told me I could end up waiting for a couple years, but I was fine with that. Months go by and they told me I could always change my wish if I didn't want to wait, but I said I'd wait as long as it would take. I'd wait forever to meet him. That was my only wish. Finally, about a year later, in January, we were told Cesar was ready. Of course, I got really excited, but they never got back to us after that. We realized it wasn't happening just yet, so we went back to waiting. A couple months later, we were told April or May, but again, April and May went by and we heard nothing. Again, we went back to waiting. Then in August, they actually gave us dates. I got excited, but kept in the back of my mind that it might not happen. The days grew closer and closer, but we hadn't heard anything. Then, just a week before they said we'd leave, they called. Everything was in motion. This time was for real. So on August 16, 2009, we went to Pittsburgh and the next day got on the plane. Later that day, we arrived in Los Angeles. That Monday, we didn't do too much, mostly walked around a bit. Tuesday, we went to Universal Studios. That was fun. We had a great time. We went back to the hotel and went to bed. The next day was the big day. Wednesday, we got up and met Lauren, our LA Make-A-Wish lady, in the lobby. She got us to our limo and spent the day with us. We went to the studio in Burbank first. Jen was the first to meet us and her little dog Leo. She showed us around a little, and then we watched what's going to be the season premiere for this next season. It was still being edited a little. Then we met the rest of the staff. They all brought their dogs over for pictures with me. We must have spent at least 2 hours just at the studio. Then we went to Venice Beach. There was a nice little restaurant there. While we were standing there waiting, Caesar showed up. We went in and had lunch with the whole crew. It was like we were old friends getting together after a long time. Somebody told Caesar my birthday was the week before. He ordered me a piece of cake with a candle and they all sang happy birthday to me. Caesar told me to make a wish, then he thought for a second and said another one. We all laughed and had a great time. We were there for about 2 hours. After that, we went to a lady's house where they were filming an episode. But Caesar was there earlier while we were at the studio and said the dog was too dangerous. He was going to take him back to his place for a while. So we sat and talked some more. Then they needed Caesar for some interviews, so he moved down a little bit. That's when they brought Daddy and Junior, Caesar's 2 pit bulls, over to me. Of course, I took pictures with them and absolutely loved them. Then Caesar was back and we took some pictures with him and the dogs. When they needed to film something else, Caesar gave me the leashes. I was in charge of Caesar's dogs. I walked them a little bit because we had to move back to where we were at first so we weren't in the shot. After one final shot, Caesar came over and gave me a hug. He then took off his jacket and put it on me. We spent about 2 hours there too. I had a great time. I still keep in touch with Lauren, the LA Make-A-Wish lady, and Sean, Jen, Neil, and Todd, who all work with Caesar. A once-in-a-lifetime experience, that's for sure. And it was definitely worth that long 1.5 year wait. I wouldn't change it for the world. That was the best birthday I have ever had, and I don't think anything else could ever come close. Thank you, everyone. Make-A-Wish, you did an amazing thing for me. You made my one and only wish come true. Thank you. And Caesar and his crew were amazing. Thank you so much for everything.
If you haven't had a chance yet, inside is a DVD that Courtney put together. She's very talented in putting together videos. And so inside is a video of featuring photos from her trip with Caesar and with the dogs. And if you get a minute, please go in and check it out. It's really, really well done. So it's children like Courtney or young women like Courtney. She's now 17. And that all of you help every single year. And we cannot thank you enough for helping us make wishes come true for children like Courtney. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I mean, that's what it's all about.